Well, yes, absolutely. Supriya Sule, the sister of Ajit Pawar, Sunitra Pawar, wife of Ajit Pawar, Partha Pawar, the son of Ajit Pawar, they are all en route to Baramati. First, they are going to Pune, and then from there, they will be flying to Baramati via helicopter. To Pune, they are going via charter flight because they have to reach to the location as soon as possible. Sharad Pawar, who was in Mumbai, is also en route to Baramati. Also, in fact, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra has cancelled, has called off all his programs, all his functions, and certainly Supriya Sule was over here because of the budget session. The family of Ajit Pawar was also here because of the budget session, and today they have just left the residence and they are reaching over there. You know, if we talk about Ajit Pawar, we all used to call him as Ajit Dada. This is what we used to address him whenever he used to brief the media, and not just that, but if we talk about Supriya Sule as well, then she also always used to say that Ajit Dada mere bade bhai hain, and this is even after the political rift, Supriya Sule maintained her stand about Ajit Dada being her big brother Dada, and Ajit Pawar also reiterated the same thing. Also, we have seen pictures of both of them sharing pictures on the day of Raksha Bandhan as well, and such kind of memories of Supriya Sule with Ajit Pawar. And in fact, Ajit Pawar some time back, I remember, had hosted a function at his residence where he had called all the members across the party lines, and that was the beauty, you know, if we talk about Ajit Pawar's political aura as well. And that is why not just the leaders from NCP had come over here at his residence. What we saw that BJP MP Nishikant Dubey was also here, Shiv Sena Uddhav Bala Sahib Thackeray MP Priyanka Chaturvedi was also over here. And in a recent development, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah have spoken to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, about this recent incident that took place there in Baramati. And now the family has headed to Baramati, and now in just some time from now we'll be getting an official confirmation so as to when the last rites of Ajit Pawar, when and where will be taking place. But as of now, yes, Supriya Sule, when we spoke to her, when we met her, she was not in the condition to speak. She was just asked, she wanted to stay away from the cameras, and she also in fact told us that Sunitra Pawar is also not in the condition to speak. She is not able to believe that actually this has happened, because some time back they did speak to Ajit Pawar on phone about how is everything going on, and she also mentioned about the budget session. These all the conversation they had recently when they spoke to Ajit Pawar on the call. But this sudden this is a shock for Sunitra Pawar and the Pawar family and Supriya Sule as well, who was not in the condition to speak at all. We saw the son of Ajit Pawar, Partha Pawar as well, who was there, who was actually in shock. Now they are reaching to Baramati, but instead, despite all this political rift, the family of Pawar always stood together no matter what. Yes, there were political war of words, there were blame games, but they were never dirty political blame games. They always in fact maintained their dignity. As I mentioned, that she always called her as Ajit Dada, and other politicians have also called him the same thing. And he was someone who was actually very kind and polite in nature. He welcomed everyone wholeheartedly. As I was also mentioning about the program that he hosted at his residence there, he introduced his wife, the family members to everybody when we were present over there with the same dignity as well. So that was the personality of Ajit Pawar, and it was extremely shocking for all of us as well, and especially the family members of Ajit Pawar now who are en route to Baramati as well. But yes, now as we see,
our colleague Abhishek Awasthi was highlighting that Devendra Fadnavis had earlier said that a day will come when Ajit Pawar will become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. That remark is now being recalled as tributes pour in for the late Deputy Chief Minister. In fact, Dr. Mayur Parikh is with us. He's a political commentator. Dr. Parikh, how should Ajit Pawar really be remembered as far as Maharashtra politics is concerned? Dr. Parekh, if I could request you to unmute yourself, please.
Ajit Pawar will always be remembered for his financial discipline, his study, his planning, the style in which he used to allocate the funds to implement the various projects of the Maharashtra. He's the person who present.
That we'll be back, Dr. Mayur.
की अशी कोणत्याही प्रकारची बातमी कानावर येऊ नये आणि अजितदादा पवार हे सही सलामत त्या अपघातातून बाहेर यावेत. पण दुर्दैवानं ती धक्कादायक आणि दुःखद बातमी आमच्या कानावर आदळली. अजितदादा पवार यांच्याशिवाय महाराष्ट्राचं राजकारण, समाजकारण हे बेचव आणि आळणी होईल. त्यांचं व्यक्तिमत्व गेल्या अनेक वर्षापासून आपण पाहतोय. दिलखुलास, रोखठोक, कार्यकर्त्यांना हवासा वाटणारा नेता. त्यांच्या जाण्यानं महाराष्ट्रावर दुःखाचा डोंगर कोसळलेला आहे. त्यांचं बोलणं, त्यांच्या कामाची पद्धत, त्यांची प्रशासनावरची पकड, या सगळ्या गोष्टी महाराष्ट्राच्या मनात कायम राहतील. बारामती आणि त्यांचं एक नातं होतं आणि त्याच बारामतीमध्ये त्यांना मृत्यू यावा हा एक विचित्र योगायोग आहे.
Pawars cannot be
श्रद्धांजली त्यांना कधी वाहावी लागेल
close
असं कधी
relation
म्हणत
of Pawars with Baramati,
त्यांनी
Ajit
त्यांच्या
Pawar.
पद्धतीचं राजकारण केलं. उद्धव ठाकरे यांच्या मंत्रिमंडळात
He believed in his own
Pawar
way of doing
मुख्यमंत्री होते.
politics.
आणि उद्धव ठाकरे मुख्यमंत्री असताना
Pawar was a
उद्धव
deputy
ठाकरे यांचं
chief
म्हणणं
minister.
होतं की कॅबिनेटला
And when
पूर्ण
Uddhav Thackeray
तयारी
was the
करून
chief
येणारे
minister,
राज्याच्या प्रश्नांचा त्यांना अभ्यास
Uddhav
विशेषतः
Thackeray used to say
पाटबंधारे,
that he was the minister who used to,
Pani.
do his studies
Yes,
well
Uddhav
before
Thackeray
coming to cabinet meetings.
शैक्षणिक क्षेत्रात त्यांचं काम राहील.
Planning and finance was his forte.
शरद पवारांनी त्यांना राजकारणात आणलं
He also worked in
आणि नंतर
education
गेल्या
field.
2-2.5 वर्षापासून त्यांनी शरद पवारांशिवाय राजकारण महाराष्ट्रात सुरू केलं. त्या राजकारणाचा असा अकाली अंत होईल.
And you know,
So
doing
कोणाच्या
politics
ध्यानी
without his uncle Sharad Pawar, he proved himself in the past 2.5 years.
मंत्री म्हणून त्यांचा लौकिक होता. त्यांना मिळालेलं प्रत्येक पद हे
was the most
राजकारणासाठी तर
efficient
वापरलंच
minister.
त्यांनी, पण कार्यकर्त्यांसाठी, जनतेसाठी, विकासासाठी त्यांनी वापरलं. त्यांच्या कामाच्या पद्धतीविषयी अनेकदा टीव्ही चॅनलवरती
He was a
काही
leader
दृश्य आम्ही पाहिली.
who worked for the development of Maharashtra.
सदैव जरी त्यांच्या बोलण्यात कधी राग आला, चीड आला, तरी पटकन एखादे विनोदी वाक्य टाकून ते संपूर्ण वातावरण हसरं खेळतं ठेवण्याची त्यांची कसब होती. उत्तम वक्ते होते.
We remember, you know, at times.
Joshi also, who joins us live, managing editor, NDTV 24/7. Padmaja, big blow. So many comments coming in. Shock perhaps being the biggest sentiment that we're seeing on cameras right now in Delhi, in Maharashtra at the moment.
Vedika and Parvekar, in fact, this is going to be very defining. There are two aspects to what has happened today. One, of course, is going to be the accident itself. A probe into that will yield more clues of what went wrong. But the other aspect that this is going to cause nothing short of a political earthquake in Maharashtra. The fact that you've had very, very volatile politics there. We had Ajit Pawar switching over. There was that early morning swearing in that took place with him and Devendra Fadnavis, and he went right back. Then eventually he did become a part of the Mahayuti. And in the recent past, this particular alliance had tasted success. After the recent elections, first, to the Lok Sabha, then to the Assembly, and now the local body elections across Maharashtra, the critical question had remained if Ajit Pawar is going to cement his place as the inheritor of Sharad Pawar's legacy. In the recent elections, of course, they did not meet with much success, but overall, it was being taken for granted that when Sharad Pawar does indeed walk into the sunset of his political career, it was widely reported that 2024 could be his last elections that he would be the face of NCP Sharad Pawar for. Eventually, the mantle would be passed on to Ajit Pawar. What has happened today, the passing of Ajit Pawar, changes everything there. Of course, his cousin, Supriya Sule, is the face of NCP Sharad Pawar. Ajit Pawar, who broke away with the NCP legislators, eventually got the symbol and the name of the NCP party. But when they came together, the question was whether in a united NCP, Ajit Pawar would be the leading face. That, of course, with the unfortunate turn of events today, has changed forever. And which alliances eventually survive, whether the remaining NCP is now going to join the Mahayuti fold, all of this, of course, remains to be seen. But politically and for the life, for Maharashtra as a whole and for the country, very, very tragic turn of events. What has happened today morning? Priyanka.
Narendra Modi has put out a post on X. I'm going to read that out. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, said Shri Ajit Pawarji was a leader of the people, having a strong grassroots level connect. He was widely respected as a hard-working personality at the forefront of serving the people of Maharashtra. His understanding of administrative matters and passion for empowering the poor and downtrodden were also noteworthy. His untimely demise is very shocking and saddening. Condolences to his family and countless admirers. Saddened by the tragic air crash in Baramati, Maharashtra. My thoughts are with those who lost their loved ones in the crash, praying for strength and courage for the bereaved families in this moment of profound grief. Shiv also joining the broadcast at this point. Shiv, what can you tell us about the private jet that Ajit Pawar was on? It was operated by VSR, I believe.
VSR Ventures is the private charter service that was frequently used by politicians, including Ajit Pawar. I was just looking at their Instagram page. They've got lots of videos of Ajit Pawar using their aircraft in the past, so there was nothing unusual about this, Vedika. This particular aircraft, and we've got pictures of the actual aircraft that crashed. We'll put them on our screens in just a moment. This was a Learjet 45XR, state-of-the-art business jet that was used quite frequently by Ajit Pawar in his short-haul flights within Maharashtra and outside. What appears to have been the case is, I don't want to jump the gun as far as what happened, because we're still awaiting a clear-cut sort of defined forward path in terms of the investigation. But it looks like some kind of emergency at low altitude forced the aircraft.
All right, Priyanka Gandhi reacting, Shiv.
Yeah.
प्रेस में निधन हो गया बहुत ही दुखद समाचार समस्त पवार परिवार और जितने भी समर्थक हैं उनको हमारी तरफ से संवेदना और शोक मैंने बात की सुप्रिया जी से भी और उनकी मैसेज से। ठीक है, प्रेस में निधन हो गया बहुत ही दुखद समाचार समस्त पवार परिवार और जितने भी समर्थक हैं उनको हमारी तरफ से संवेदना और शोक मैंने बात की सुप्रिया जी से भी और उनकी मैसेज से। ठीक है,
Senior Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi also commenting on the untimely demise of Ajit Pawar. Shiv, we were talking about the jet that Ajit Pawar was.
No, this is pretty scary, because the exact circumstances under which this aircraft went down are unclear. The debris that you see in that field with just the tail part intact shows that this aircraft completely missed the airfield, or it has overshot or fallen off the actual airfield. This doesn't seem to be the actual Baramati airstrip itself, probably somewhere nearby. Lots of locals over there, which means that it was near a built-up area, obviously within Baramati itself. But this is going to raise a huge number of questions. I understand that Mamata Banerjee and some other leaders have asked for a thorough investigation. That goes without saying. Any air crash is going to be investigated threadbare. This one for sure is going to be investigated threadbare, because you had Ajit Pawar on board. Amit Shah is headed to Baramati as we speak. The Prime Minister has just spoken. Leaders from across the spectrum have spoken. So there are 4 or 5 strands to this story, all of which we're going to be tracking with equal intensity right now, Vedika. And I just want to summarize them for our viewers. Number one, obviously the accident itself. What happened, how it happened, how could such a thing have happened given that all manner of precautions are taken for all kinds of flights. Okay, we've got more reactions. I'll tell you about that a little later. Here are more reactions coming in from Maharashtra.
All right, so we have Padmaja also with us at this point. We're trying getting you live reactions from wherever they're coming in from, be it outside Parliament or Maharashtra, the national capital, of course. Padmaja, Ajit Pawar, the longest serving Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, non-consecutive terms, of course, and he's worked as the Deputy Chief Minister in cabinets of Prithviraj Chavan, Devendra Fadnavis, Uddhav Thackeray and Eknath Shinde. The experience has been vast. Go ahead, tell us what you wanted to say. Padmaja, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. In fact, just a quick update that we are getting right now of the latest developments that are happening right now. Hello?
Hold off for a second. We're getting live visuals from Baramati as well, where the son of Ajit Pawar has reached the hospital where the mortal remains of Ajit Pawar lie. Emotional scenes there. Of course, you have crowds gathered outside that hospital in Baramati. That's the son there. Absolutely broken, emotional. The entire family is in shock. Those are the live visuals from outside the hospital that we're getting at this point. Padmaja, please continue.
We'll get back to Padmaja in just a moment. The Prime Minister has just tweeted heartbreaking pictures from Baramati, where the family of Ajit Pawar has just arrived. Very, very heart-rending pictures. We would like to advise viewer discretion. Some of these pictures that we're going to be showing you over the next few hours are likely to be distressing for you and your families. We're talking about an air crash, so there are distressing pictures that you're going to be seeing across the board. Rohit Pawar, Parth Pawar, they've all reached the place. Heartbreak for the Pawar family at this point of time. Supriya Sule is en route to Baramati as well. We're expecting a longer statement from the Parivar family a little later. Remember that the death of Ajit Pawar is a huge blow, not just to the Pawar family, but to Maharashtra politics. He was Deputy Chief Minister of the Maharashtra government. So the big strands that we're tracking right now. Number one, the accident, the investigation, what happened, the details and circumstances related to the wreckage. All of those are going to be on your screen. Number two, the arrangements for Ajit Pawar's funeral. Leaders like Amit Shah, etc. are headed there. No information just yet about the Prime Minister, but I wouldn't be surprised if we hear that the Prime Minister is also going to be heading there. Number three, what happens within the Maharashtra government at this point of time, because the void that's been left by Ajit Pawar is huge. Not only was he Deputy Chief Minister, but he was a man who was literally someone who controlled the mechanics of how the government functioned in terms of funding, planning and execution. He was seen as the go-to man in terms of getting work done. Number three, what happens within the larger Mahayuti? What happens to the Pawar family? What happens to the NCP? Those are less important right now. The most important thing is the investigation itself and what happened to that Learjet 46XR Vedika that we're tracking at this point of time. Ajit Pawar, as we know, was on routine election-related work in the Zilla Parishad elections that are happening. A reminder once again that, politics is a kind of 24/7. Okay, more reactions coming in. Let's listen in.
सहयोगी थे, महाराष्ट्र के बड़े ऊंचे स्तर के नेता और हम सबके प्रिय अजीत भाई रहे.
Evolving and a developing situation, we should await an official confirmation on what really.
Abhishek Avasthi also joining us live at this point. Abhishek, we've just seen an extremely emotional Rohit Pawar entering that hospital where his father's mortal remains lie at this point. We're also hearing that the cadres, the leaders within NCP, absolutely broken, shocked at this point. What can you share with us?
Yeah, definitely, these visuals definitely speaks loud, how a mass leader was Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. And, whoever hears the news, it is unacceptable, unbelievable. As earlier also I was pointing it out, for those political journalists also, like how we used to cover him, used to meet him, his response to us, and everything, those moments are right in front of my eyes. Similarly, similar sentiments, we can understand how those karyakartas, in fact, those leaders, MLAs, MPs, and we have to understand one point out here, earlier when
Union Home Minister is with us live. Sushil ji, your first words, your first thoughts and reactions on the very, very tragic passing away of Ajit Pawar.
Yes, he was my colleague also, and he was in my ministry when I was Chief Minister. We worked together for a long time, and we have seen, uska growth I have seen. He was a wonderful man and very good administrator. He used to entertain workers very closely, and like brothers and sisters, he used to work with them. I feel deeply sorrow for this.
What kind of legacy does he leave behind? What was he like to work with, Sushil ji?
In fact, you see, he was working very hard. Day and night he was working, right from 5:30 to 10:30 in the evening. He was working and rendering services to the people. He was an excellent person, you see, to work with. And I think that there was no such type of thing that he...
Right. Mr. Shinde, if you can still hear us, when was the last time you spoke with Mr. Pawar or met him?
I have not met him for a long time.
Yes. Have you been able to speak to any of his family members, sir?
No, I have not met. I am not in touch.
Do you want to say anything, to the Pawar family at this point of time? They have faced a lot of turbulence in the recent past.
He was a great hope for Pawar family, and particularly Sharad Pawar and his all families. I think he was a person who devoted himself for the nation.
All right, Mr. Shinde, thank you for joining us there on the phone line. We're trying getting you as many reactions as possible at this point. We still have with us Abhishek Avasthi, who joins us live from Mumbai. But there is some breaking news coming in at this point as well. A team from the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau will soon visit the crash site. The AAIB team will investigate the causes, of course, of the incident. According to sources, a DGCA team may also visit the crash site. Shiv, this is expected.
Absolutely. This is the first first order of action from the Accident Investigation Board is to visit the site. A forensic study will be conducted of the entire debris field, all parts that are critical to analysis as to why this plane crashed will be taken in. And it could be weeks, Vedika. It won't take days, it'll take weeks, probably even months to ascertain what happened to this aircraft. Remember, communications between the pilots and control towers, either in Baramati or the Pune sector, largely will be studied. Was there a mid-air malfunction? Was there an engine failure? Was there a bird hit? All manner of possibilities will be on the table before the investigators actually pin down what may have happened, but I can tell you very clearly that in India we have one of the most stringent accident investigation protocols, and therefore no stone will be left unturned in terms of investigating this. Knowing Maharashtra politics, and I hesitate to say this, but I still want to put it out there, Vedika. Knowing the nature of Maharashtra politics in general, it's probably only a matter of time before someone cries foul and someone cries conspiracy. Now, I don't want to put an idea in anyone's mind, but I'm just giving our viewers a sense that we should be prepared for that angle to suddenly take root as well. And that will add a new sort of layer to how we track this story. Because remember, Maharashtra has a special brand of very ruthless politics. These very politicians that you're seeing right now were at daggers drawn just days or weeks ago as far as the BMC and the civic body elections were concerned. But death is the end. A tragedy of this kind brings all these warring families together because, in the face of death, the lines that divide all these aggressive, hostile, acrimonious political divides, they completely evaporate. And that's one of the reasons why the stakes were always extremely high when it came to Ajit Pawar. Radhika is also on the ground with us as we await more information about the investigation. Radhika, give us a quick update on the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, Eknath Shinde. Where are they right now? Are they headed towards the site? Are they headed to Baramati? Just give us a quick sense of where the big leaders are right now.
All right, there is some breaking news we'll go to before we go across to Radhika. We'll try and reset that signal there, but news just coming in, and these are details on the plane crash. According to flight radar, the flight which Ajit Pawar was sitting in took off, Shiv, from Mumbai at 8:10 a.m. and it disappeared from the radar around 8:45 a.m. That would mean that that's the moment it crashed, correct? And then Pawar was traveling to Baramati from Mumbai to address public meetings as part of the campaign for the upcoming Zilla Parishad elections in the state. So it's at 8:45, Shiv, we're being told that the radar lost the signal from that aircraft.
That's correct. Again, we are not clear as to precisely how far from the Baramati airfield itself the aircraft went down. But the fact that it disappeared from radar clearly either shows that there was some kind of catastrophic incident in the air, because losing radar, like you absolutely correctly said, Vedika, would indicate that would be the point of impact. The much more unlikely scenario would be some kind of major systemic failure in the air, where the aircraft's radar transponders, which are basically the devices that announce the aircraft's position and altitude to the radars that are tracking it, those would have started malfunctioning. Very unlikely for that to happen. So I think you may be right that 8:45, when it disappeared from radar, must have been the time of impact. What would be key to ascertain at this point of time now is whether there is any communication between the pilot, the crew, and ground control, either in Baramati or more likely in Pune or probably even in Mumbai. This is a pretty short flight by flying standards. So 8:10 to 8:45 is about 35 minutes in the air. Sharad Pawar, the uncle of Ajit Pawar, pictures of him arriving in
those visuals
Mumbai pictures of Sharad Pawar. Very likely that he will be headed there as well. A statement from him personally will be is very likely imminent. This will come as a huge shock, Vedika, to Sharad Pawar himself. Uncle and nephew have been at war for the last few years, ever since the big rebellion by Ajit Pawar. One can only imagine what his death leaves for the Pawar family. Sources tell us that the pilot in that Learjet 45XR reported poor visibility. Not surprising in the current weather that we're in right now. Poor visibility is likely to have been one of the causes. But remember that we again hesitate to jump the gun about all of these aspects, because aircraft like the Learjet 46XR are equipped to fly in bad weather. They've got systems and navigation aids. These are qualified pilots that must have been there. So an air accident is usually a combination of factors. The poor visibility may have been one of the catalyzing factors. It could have been a catalyst, but we don't know if that was the precise reason. So we'll keep a track on that.
Absolutely. Let's go across to our reporters. I think Radhika's still with us. Radhika, if you can hear me at this point, where are you and what are the updates you have for us from Mumbai? We're getting visuals in also of Sharad Pawar. What can you tell us about the cadres within the NCP, about Sharad Pawar? Is he also going to head to Baramulla shortly, to the place shortly?
Absolutely. We are hearing that all the family members are on their way. Sharad Pawar will be moving towards Baramati very shortly. Sunetra Pawar already on her way. And also Supriya Sule as well. As far as NCP members, cadres are concerned, we spoke to several of NCP officials. They are in shock. They are in a state of shock. And we've been seeing visuals of NCP workers and members in tears. Obviously, it is unbelievable. He had gone to Baramati to attend official events and functions and for public meetings. And he takes these chartered flights often from Mumbai to Baramati. And unfortunately, this incident happening absolutely unbelievable as far as NCP.
He was going to stay overnight in Baramati. How long was this plan of his to be in Baramati for?
Well, the plan was to be there for just today because all the 4 public meetings were supposed to take place today itself. So he flew in at about 8 o'clock and was reaching at about 8:45, 9 and 8:45 is when this tragedy occurred. He was supposed to attend 4 different multiple campaign meetings, post which he was supposed to return on the same day as he has official meetings and events scheduled in Mumbai as well in the forthcoming day. So that was the plan. And this is something Ajit Pawar does very often because Baramati is Pawar turf. Of course, he rose to power through Sugar Cooperative Society in Baramati, in Pune. Just recently, he had fought local body elections of Pune, Pimpri, Chinchwad along with his uncle. There was some sort of reunion of sorts, and there were a lot of murmurs around whether both the NCPs will come back together. Of course, Ajit Pawar was instrumental in the rift itself at the time, but he's the longest serving deputy chief minister. He's held multiple portfolios, known as a very, very straightforward politician, also very ambitious. So this comes, at a time when, we keep talking about the power equations in Maharashtra, especially within the NCP fold. But yes, we'll really have to see how things will pan out politically. But at this point, the entire state in shock.
Right, so we're just going to go through the latest now, Sheikh, before we go across to Abhishek Awasthi. We know that the Prime Minister has dialed the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. We know the Home Minister has also spoken to him. We know that the Home Minister is heading to Baramati as we speak. Supriya Sule on her way, Praful Patel on his way.
Yes, that's right. Every big leader is on their way right now. And like I said, the Home Minister of India is on his way as well. Prime Minister has put out a note of condolence. Like I said, no information yet about whether the Prime Minister is headed. But knowing the Prime Minister, expect that he probably will announce that he's heading there as well. It's very, very likely he will go. Most certainly will go for the last rites and ceremonies that will take place either in Baramati or Pune or Mumbai. That is for certain. But at this point of time, we'll have to wait on the... Okay, Eknath Shinde, Deputy Chief Minister of the government, speaking right now.
आज महाराष्ट्रात घडली आहे खरं म्हणजे असं कुणाच्या स्वप्नातही वाटलं नसेल की अजितदादा गेले अनेक वर्ष या महाराष्ट्राच्या राजकारणात नेतृत्व करत होते आणि अतिशय
महाराष्ट्रात पॉलिटिक्स
स्पष्ट वक्तेपणा आणि प्रशासनावर असलेली त्यांची
स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड लीडर
पकड आपण पाहिलेली आहे
विथ कमिटमेंट and a strong hold on administrative
बारीक अभ्यास करून
administration
बोलण्याची सवय होती
and he was fond of studying every aspect and every decision making
रोखटोक बोलणारे असले तरी सुद्धा त्याला चूक म्हणणारे असले तरी
fearless straightforward
ते निर्मळ होते याचा अनुभव मी स्वतः घेतलेला आहे त्यांच्यासोबत मी
I have experienced it myself
मंत्रिमंडळात देखील काम केलं मी मुख्यमंत्री असताना त्यांनी उपमुख्यमंत्री
I have worked with him in the cabinet itself
आणि
As a chief minister also and as now deputy chief minister also, I have worked with him.
मुख्यमंत्री माझी लाडकी बहीण योजना किंबहुना इतरही योजना जेव्हा आम्ही सुरू केल्या तेव्हा आर्थिक जे काही
specific to speaking about Mukhyamantri Ladki Behan Yojana,
अतिशय उत्तमपणे
despite of financial difficulties,
आणि
it was
अनुभव
Ajit
मला
Pawar
आहे आणि एकदा करायचं ठरवलं की ते अजितदादा करायचे. करतो बघतो पाहतो असे शब्द त्यांच्या डिक्शनरीत नव्हते. व्हायचं असेल ते तात्काळ करायचे, नसेल त्याला नाही
Ajit Pawar was never a leader who said that I will look at it, I will take these decisions. These words were never in his
मी
dictionary.
असेन, मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्रजी असतील, अजितदादा असतील, आम्ही टीम म्हणून काम केलं, टीम म्हणून काम करतो. आमच्या वेळाही
Chief Minister Devendra
कामाच्या
Fadnavis and Ajit Dada has worked
वेगवेगळ्या मी
as a
पहाटे
team
उशिरापर्यंत
for the
काम
state of
करतो.
Maharashtra.
अजितदादा पहाटे लवकर काम सुरू करतात, देवेंद्रजी दिवसभर काम करतात. आणि अजितदादांनी 6 वाजता देखील अपॉइंटमेंट दिलेल्या अधिकाऱ्यांनी आणि लोकप्रतिनिधींनी पाहिलेल्या आहेत. अतिशय वेळेचं महत्त्व आणि वेळेचं भान ठेवणारा नेता हरपलेला आहे. खरं म्हणजे काल परवाच आमची एका कार्यक्रमामध्ये भेट झाली. सरन्यायाधीश मुंबईत आले होते आणि ते येण्यापूर्वी आम्ही इथंच एका चेंबरमध्ये बसलो होतो आणि त्यावेळेस झालेल्या चर्चा.
Recently, Chief Justice of India visited Mumbai, and before that, we had a meeting and we were sitting in a chamber with Ajit Pawar.
त्याच आठवणी काल परवाच्या येऊ लागल्या.
Those memories, those discussions are still afresh in my mind.
ते राजकारणात देखील अनुभवी नेते, गेल्या अनेक वर्षापासूनचा त्यांचा अनुभव, वयाने देखील माझ्यापेक्षा ते मोठे होते.
More than me, he was an experienced leader in politics.
आणि म्हणून त्यांना राज्यातल्या अनेक विषयांचा गाढा अभ्यास होता. अनेक विभाग त्यांनी हाताळले होते, याचा राज्याला फायदा होत होता.
Difficult topics of the state of Maharashtra, he had studied and he had the knowledge of them.
त्यावेळेस आपल्या राज्याची आर्थिक परिस्थिती अशी आहे, आपल्याला सर्वांना काटकसर करावी लागेल अशी अगदी निर्भीडपणे सांगणारे
Whenever we used to take decisions in the cabinet and important agenda used to come forward, he always used to make sure that he presented the financial status and financial difficult position currently, and whether we should go about it or not, how should we go about it, he had his views on every project and difficult situation that we have faced while taking decisions.
एक जी काय आमची गेल्या अनेक वर्षापासूनची जवळीक निर्माण झाली होती, त्यामुळे राजकारणातले आम्ही तिघजण एक टीम म्हणून काम करत असलो. एक मोठा भाऊ हरपल्याची, गेल्याची भावना देखील, दुःख देखील आणि मी त्यांना भावपूर्ण आदरांजली अर्पित करीत असतानाच मनामध्ये फार दुःखाच्या भावना आहेत. त्यांचं कुटुंब हे दुःख पचवण्याची क्षमता डोंगरा एवढं दुःख आहे. ही क्षमता ईश्वराने त्यांना प्रदान करावी. कुटुंबाचंच नाही, संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्र झालेलं आहे नुकसान. मी आणि मुख्यमंत्री देखील आम्ही जातो आहे. आमचे सहकारी आमच्यातून गेले, त्याचं दुःख आहे. जे सभा होत्या त्याही
सर, एक विचार असं वाटतं की तुम्ही याला उल्लेख केला की 2 दिवसांपूर्वी त्यांच्या जवळपास 1-1.5 तास तुम्ही बसलेले होतात दोघंच खूप गप्पा झाल्या त्या चेंबरमध्ये, असं काही एक त्यांच्या किंवा मंत्रिमंडळ देखील असताना अशी काही त्यांची इच्छा, एखादी योजना किंवा एखादं त्यांना करायचं होतं की तुमच्याशी त्यांनी शेअर केली, आपण हे करूया मिळून महाराष्ट्रासाठी, असं काही?
नाही, आम्ही आतापर्यंत एकत्र जेव्हा तेही उपमुख्यमंत्री होते तेव्हा मी मंत्रिमंडळात होतो, मी मुख्यमंत्री असतानाही उपमुख्यमंत्री होते, आता देवेंद्रजी मुख्यमंत्री होते. आम्ही जे काही निर्णय आम्ही घ्यायचो ते निर्णय मिळूनच घ्यायचो आणि मग एकदा एखादी सूचना आली की मग त्याला तिघांनी अजितदादा देखील
take his guidance, his opinion, and then only we all took a unanimous decision.
आपली जी काही अर्थव्यवस्था महाराष्ट्राची आहे, काही नवीन योजना केल्यामुळे आपल्याला काटकसर करावी लागेल, पण
point out the financial
घ्यावेच लागतील
constraint,
मात्र ते
and
मागे हटत नव्हते आणि याचा अनुभव देखील आम्ही घेतलेला आहे.
and used to take a very strict and a straightforward stand while releasing funds and taking important decisions.
जे काही अनुभव आहे हा महाराष्ट्रासाठी होता. त्यांनी प्रतिनिधित्व केल्यामुळे मला वाटतं फार मोठं नुकसान झालेलं आहे, न भरून येणार.
शेवटचा प्रश्न, जे काय जसा हा जो विमान अपघात झाला ज्या प्रकारे काय वाटतं,
irreparable loss, a political vacuum in the state of Maharashtra.
त्यामुळे
बिलकुल याची शेवटी.
Just 2 weeks ago, NDTV conducted the last interview of Ajit Pawar, and ironically, our colleague Rahul Kulkarni conducted this interview in the very same aircraft that crashed today, resulting in his death. Take a look at that interview.
इसकी ऑडियंस आपको देख रहे हैं, तो शायद ऐसा तो नहीं कि दोनों राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस जो है अभी साथ में आ रही है, जो आपके मनमुटाव थे, चूंकि आपने पिंपरी चिंचवड में कहा भी, अभी जो हुआ सो हो गया.
नहीं, क्या हुआ इस चुनाव में, हमारे कार्यकर्ता जो है, कैंडिडेट जो होना चाहते थे, उन्होंने हमें भी बताया, उनको भी बताया, और अकेले लड़कर अगर वोटों का बंटवारा हुआ तो कैंडिडेट का नुकसान होता है. तो जो भी हमारा कार्यकर्ता है वो चुनाव उन्होंने जीतना चाहिए, और वो जीतने के लिए अगर बंटवारा न होते हुए दोनों साइड के वोट अगर मिल गए तो रिजल्ट थोड़ा बहुत ठीक आने की संभावना रहती है.
ये आगे जाके भी होगा.
नहीं, अभी तो मैंने खाली कॉरपोरेशन के चुनाव के बारे में मेरा सोचना चालू है, और उसके बाद जिला परिषद, तालुका पंचायत, ये इस पे हम सब ध्यान देने वाले हैं. और उसमें तुरंत बाद अपना इस साल का बजट आने वाला है 23 फरवरी को, 23 फरवरी 2026. इसमें मुझे बजट पेश करना है, तो ये सब काम में मैं बहुत बिजी हूँ. हमने उस एंगल से कुछ सोचा नहीं.
तो जो दिल्ली में चर्चा है कि जो राष्ट्रवादी है शरद पवार का गुट, वो भी एनडीए का सहयोगी सदस्य बनना चाहता है,
मुझे बेमालूम.
आपको पता? और सुप्रिया सुले भी शायद मिनिस्टर बनेगी, ये भी कहा जा रहा है.
नहीं, क्या होता है, अभी जैसे बीच में बहुत दिन उद्धव ठाकरे साहब की शिवसेना और राज ठाकरे जी की मन से एक आ सकती है, एक हो सकती है, एक हो सकती है, साथ चुनाव लड़ सकती है. उन्होंने पार्टी अलग अलग रखी है, सही है ना. पार्टी तो अलग अलग. उन्होंने कुछ कैंडिडेट खड़े किए, इन्होंने कुछ कैंडिडेट,
लेकिन दोनों आपस में एक साथ चुनाव मिलकर
जैसे भाजपा शिवसेना इतने सालों से मिलकर लड़ रही है, वैसे अभी ये दोनों साथ साथ आए हैं, तो उन पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को ठीक लगता है, और उन पार्टियों के वोटर जो है उनको भी ठीक लगता है कि चलो अच्छा हो रहा है. ऐसा मदद से शिवसेना के बारे में.
वही एनसीपी के बारे में है, ऐसा आप बताना
वैसा अभी जो वोटर है एनसीपी का, जो पवार साहब कुछ चाहते हैं या हम पार्टी चलाते, हमारे भी थोड़ा बहुत कुछ वोटर है, वो दोनों वोटर को अच्छा लगता है कि चलो।
All right, that's quite an unnerving kind of scene, you know, if you get to know and see something like this shift. 3 weeks ago almost, same aircraft, interview with Ajit Pawar, who's no more.
Incredible and kind of unsettling to see that, but we wanted to show you that because that was NDTV's Rahul Kulkarni sitting in the same aircraft with Ajit Pawar. I want to put those pictures on our screen again for just a moment of Ajit Pawar sitting in that aircraft with Rahul Kulkarni, giving what we understand was his last interview amidst all of these elections. This was before the BMC election. It was during that time when electioneering was taking place, and as you can see in that picture on the top right-hand side of your screen, work never stopped for Ajit Pawar. In today's accident Vedika, he was on poll duty once again. Yes. He was going to be addressing some public events at the Zilla Parishad level in Baramati when his aircraft went down at 8:45 a.m. So many developments coming in at this point of time. The Accident Investigation Board forensics team is headed towards the site. They are probably, as we speak, already collecting evidence from the site about what happened. You've just heard from Eknath Shinde. You've heard from all the principals of Maharashtra politics. Supriya Sule has just put out a WhatsApp status saying she's devastated. Her reactions will be coming in shortly. One can only imagine what's happening within the Pawar family right now.